Zoom in. Nobody's coming. See them all? Look at them all. Seriously. Now the group I saw when it was the snowstorm, it was even more than that. Maybe double or triple that.
Got a couple of heads looking, but that's about it.
Pretty wild, right? They look like tourists. Yeah. See how cold they were? They were bundled up. He got a big glove, a big mitten on his hand, big knitted mitten. You know you're cold.
What I got, little man. He loves animals, and especially farm animals. We will read a book together, and all he'll do is say the names of the animals. Cow? Horse? Horse, he says. What else does he say? Fish for big fish. Anyway, so now we got visual aids. 3D teaching tools. Cool, right? Pretty awesome. You're gonna have fun. Well, we're gonna have fun. 'Cause I'm the crazy grandpa.
That's Kipper. I had this before. Let's try like this. Two in the back and then that works. This bed's going the wrong way. There you go. Still pointing the wrong way. Need my ladder. My ladder go good. Oh well, it's good enough. And as you can see, I bought another light. No surprise there. But this camera view shows all the shadows in the shop still. Look at all the darkness. So I need more light in there. I ended up actually buying 3 more of these lights. the next job is to install the vinyl floor. It matches the same as the overheads floor, and since the furniture's all out and the frames are all out, I figured I might as well go ahead and put the floor in now. Seemed like the next logical step. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is vacuum up all the sawdust and clean up all the debris that's going to cause the floor not to be smooth. I'm going to tell you this, guys, what I learned from this project and from people's input as well is that I should have put a primer coat of paint over everything. It helps seal the wood and helps with the battle against moisture. That's something when I build my next trailer or build a small house, tiny home, I'm going to do that for sure. So like I told you before, learn from my mistakes. Before anybody adds a delightful comment about how I didn't install the tiles right because I didn't start in the center of the room, let me explain. And I really wish I had taken the time to show you what I'm talking about with the camera in my hand and demonstrating what I'm talking about. But first of all, I wanted the tiles to line up with the edge of the wheel well. Second of all, I wanted there to be as little trim pieces as possible. Let me explain that. If I started in the center and worked my way to the left and to the right, I would have had to cut pieces for the left side by the wheel well and then for the right side by the wheel well. Does that make sense? I would have had to do a lot of trimming and cutting. This way I have less, and this way also I'm putting the trim pieces under the side that you won't see. Okay, so I wanted two full channels. I wanted two full rows of tiles that you could see when you're in the kitchen or walking towards the overhead. What am I reaching for there? That's the spray glue. It's that 90 proof stuff that I used on the wall. What I learned about the vinyl so far is don't take any chances. If you think you're going to come to an area that's going to have problems sticking, now you see me pulling off some stuff off the floor there, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have issues with the floor sticking there. I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to go ahead and spray a layer of the glue down, and then you'll notice as well as I let it sit for a little while before I apply the tile. So I need to go ahead and apologize right now. I'm about to have a little spaz out session. As you can see, I'm in a lot of pain. My knees are killing me, neck, back, everything. A lot of pain. It's the usual stuff, guys, and that's okay. You know, it's part of my life. But I do get frustrated, and I don't want to hold back from you guys. I want you guys to see what it's like to live like this. You know, people see me at the gym like, oh, you're nothing wrong with you. You got muscles. You know, I've been bodybuilding since I was 18 years old. I'm not going to stop, and I honestly believe that it has saved my life. I always say God and bodybuilding saved my life. So I'm not going to stop, and every doctor I've seen has told me not to stop. Even now with the ventral wall hernia, I've been told, don't stop, keep working out. Just find the exercises that aren't going to cause it to be worse. And I have to see a specialist about that. I need to see a kinesiologist to make sure that my exercises aren't making it worse. Because surgery doesn't look like an option. It's getting bigger, but they're concerned about the mesh. I guess there's a lot of recalls on that mesh that was used for ventral wall hernias. And so I'm good. I don't want pieces of plastic floating around my system. Got enough problems. Anyways, back to this wall. So this will be the second time I've installed this wall, and actually I think I do it a total of 3 or 4 times. And this is the problem I've explained to you before of not building. I would have built this the way I built a house, and you know, foundation, structure, ceiling, and then interior. You know, all this stuff would have been done already. Unfortunately, because of having to wait for stuff and not being able to afford to buy everything all at once, I've had to piecemeal things. So I haven't finished the ceiling because I need whatchamacallits, the vents. And yeah, you can see I'm not happy right now. I need vents, and I have to frame those out, and that means I need to move my rafters around or cut rafters to make room for the vents, or you know, etc., etc. But anyways, I need the vents, and I can't finish the ceiling till I have them. Right now, for me it's December, and I have the vents, and the ceiling is done. But for you guys, it's not done, and this wall is in the way, and it's not lined up where I want it to be lined up with the rafters anyways. So it needs to come out, and I want the floor to be one surface. See how the other wall to the left is loose? I did that on purpose because I wasn't sure exactly how that was going to fit and how that was going to look. So I purposely left that one loose. I just got too excited with the one on the right and attached it. And it actually ends up being only one screw that's stopping me from taking the wall out. I believe it's 2 screws. And the second screw is completely stripped. The first screw I had to use a Sawzall on. That's because here we go. I'm not happy. This wall's just coming down. Here we go, son. Get that wall out of there. Yeah, pull that out of there. Hulk time. Yep. So truth be told, I wasn't happy with this wall in the first place. And I'm going to rebuild it now again. That screw that I'm working on forever up there, you can't see, is completely stripped. And it's the angle I put it in at. Because I attached the plywood after I put, I put this frame in, attached it to the wall. Then I put, here we go, get that out of there, son. Come on, boy. Come on. There you go. Good job. Won't be using those pieces again. That's some good firewood right there. Look at that glue, though. Man, that stuff truly is liquid nails. So that one screw up top, I put in on an angle, and then I put the plywood over the top of it. Couldn't get to it and ended up stripping it. So, and there's that other screw right there. I didn't use the Sawzall on it, I ended up being able to take them out, the screws out, now the plywood's off. So, apologize for that little angry session, but it felt good, man. There's something about being in pain and then being able to take out your frustration on demo work. That's just awesome. I was hurting more afterwards, but it sure felt good when I was doing it. Alright, guys. Let's get back to work. Stop talking so much. Jeez. talk for a minute about this vinyl roller. This thing is amazing. I highly recommend it. If you remember before, I was trying to use that ab wheel and I was having issues with it fitting against the wall and not getting it totally smooth. But this thing, look at it, it's got 3 separate rollers. It's not heavy, but you can put a lot of pressure on it with the little handle that it's got attached to it as well. I'm going to show you a clip here in just a minute of what I'm talking about, and I purchased mine at Home Depot, but you can get them anywhere. Alright, I'm going to try this one more time because I'm having trouble talking today, obviously. The vinyl is installed. I got that one wall installed as well. The wall that's not broken, at least. And actually, it's only tacked in there. Going to keep it loose until I find out exactly where it's going to go, as far as the bench goes, as far as the ceiling goes, because I still have to install the ceiling. Anyways, it's time to work on the vents, and I'm pretty sure I showed you guys these vents on an earlier episode. Maybe I'll go back and explain how they work again. But for now, there's basically 4 pieces, and you put 2 of the pieces on each side of the wall. It scoops the air from one side and pushes it in through the other. Right now I have 2 of these vents systems, one for each wall. I'm thinking about getting more, but we'll see how that goes. I apologize for the camera view. It's not a very good one. And I keep dropping the stuff out the wall. I'm going to have to frame around these circular tubing that goes through the actual walls. I don't have 2x2s built around it yet, so the first thing I need to do is build a frame for it to fit into. So that's the first project to be done. Again, I apologize for the terrible, it's so terrible camera view. Yeah, I think that problem we solve when I get a GoPro, because it's small and it has like a wide angle, so I could set it on a small tripod right by where I'm working and catch that footage. But so that's going to be part of the sponsorship once I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to strive for getting a GoPro 7 Black because it has the wireless capability, so my videos can go straight. I can even go live with it, but for the most part I'll just upload them to the cloud and then edit them, download them and edit them. Anyways, all I'm doing right now, as I'm sitting there trying to figure everything out, is building a frame around the actual vent, and not the cover, but the actual tube that goes through the wall. I'll explain more of this later when I show you how I build the second one. I'll give you a close-up on that, how I do that. So again, I apologize for the camera view. Hopefully the GoPro 7 Black will solve that problem when I get it. didn't attach those 2x2s yet. I just built the frame and set it in there and made sure everything was level first. Then I wanted to take a piece of plywood and see how the plywood would fit in there first. And now I'm actually securing those 2x2s. So I apologize again for the camera angle, but I want to point out a couple things here. I'm measuring right now for the hole for the vent. I'm going to do a pilot hole real quick. For the hole saw, I believe I use a 3-inch hole saw, and it fits perfectly. I'll show you that in just a second. Set up on the workbench, I have a drill and a 3-inch hole saw bit, and I'm showing you right now that it cut it out and it did a really good job. Fits perfectly. Next time I do the other vent on the opposite wall, I will show you the process. Again, I apologize, guys. I don't know what I was thinking, if I was just hurting and just wanted to get this done. But next time I do the other vent, which is coming up for me real soon, I'm in December right now, and I'm about to install that vent. So I'm going to show you how to do that, step by step. Rest of that vinyl hung up over there in the kitchen area. Before I can do that though, I need to clean up. The sawdust just gets everywhere. I want to keep the floor clean, and I actually want to put some cardboard down to protect the floor. Before I can do that though, I need to make sure the floor is clean as well. around that vent hole, what I did was lightly tack on that piece of vinyl, and then I went around to the outside of the camper where the hole was and took a pencil and marked it. I can't really see exactly where my mark is, and I want to make sure that I use, there you go, push the camera out of the way, that's alright, it doesn't matter. What I ended up doing is taking it over to the workbench and using the hole saw and drilling the exact 3-inch hole right into the vinyl. Because I already marked it with the pencil, so I was just going to go ahead and drill it out.
for the roof because I want to get the plywood installed before it gets too cold. That way I can stay warm inside the camper as I'm working, and you know, I can get a lot more done. So went ahead and forked out the money for that. Wasn't cheap. So please, guys, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody to hit that subscribe button. So oh, listen to the noise it's making. So YouTube can know that you guys know I'm putting out, or trying to put out quality videos. But YouTube needs to know that so we can get this show on the road. Yeah, I was telling somebody about that earlier today. I was telling them that the real adventure starts when we actually start traveling. And I take my, I've published, a few books, and I'm not famous yet. I'm working on it, but that put me on the road, and do writing on the road, and do I'm working on my doctorate too. Work on my doctorate studies on the road, and the wife can do her studies on the road, and we're gonna go travel to all these different places in America. And she's a food lover. She loves foods, and she's a really good food critic. So we're gonna do a little bit of critiquing of food, and we're also gonna do, me with gyms. I'm gonna do some critiquing of gyms. Yeah, be fun, right? Be a lot of fun. So that's the adventure. That's coming, but I can't get there until I get the camper done. Unless you know somebody who wants to donate the Jayco Greyhawk 30X. Man, that thing is gorgeous. Have you seen that thing? Wow, that's my dream camper one day. So maybe I can sell the truck camper and have the money to buy that one day. We'll see. Alright guys, fire's finally calming down. I don't think I'm going to burn up the rest of that dolly tonight. I'm going to just let this piddle out, work in the shop a little bit, and then edit this video. Alright guys, have a good night. I love you all. Be good to each other. And please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to tell your dog to do it too, because my dog's cool. He's really cool. Alright guys, bye guys. Love you. Good night.